I would rather finish second in a great battle than win an easy race. If I ever lose that, that's probably the day I should retire.
Hey guys, we're back for another round of Keeping Connected here. And I've got another fantastic PTO member with me. He is one of the more unique characters in the world of triathlon. And I think he was sort of the game changer of triathlon. He made a lot of pros rethink their approach to training. And we want to chat with him about that and so many other things in those interesting times. Yeah, welcome, Lionel Sanders.
Hey, thanks, man. Thanks for having me on.
How's it going over there?
Good. Still waking up. I did a race. It was I got the notification like one day before the race that I was going to race at 2 a.m. my time. And so tried to get on the European time zone basically in one day by drinking a whole bunch of coffee and staying up until 4 a.m. and all this. So I'm like sort of messed up right now in between time zones. So I apologize if the brain doesn't function too sharply.
Oh man, but it looked like you had a hell lot of fun there. So it wasn't a triathlon race, it was a road race you did, an e-road race. What happened
The
there?
only road race I'll probably ever be able to participate in because no one will let me in because I'll kill everyone with my bike handling skills. But yes, it was technically a road race. Well, an e-road race.
Oddly enough, I do believe you because I actually saw your race live in Wiesbaden. I was at the finish line there.
You're going into the archives.
I'm going to the
I've had a couple of guys say, "Wow, your bike handling's improved quite a bit." So I've come a long way since Wiesbaden, where that truly was. I remember thinking to myself around each corner, if they put this race in North America, there would be like 20 fatalities because we're just not used to. I mean, at least where I'm from, there are no switchbacks and all these 90-degree corners coming in at 70 kilometers an hour anywhere. So
admittingly, you picked one with a gnarly course. I remember some super fast descents into like almost 130-degree sharp turns and stuff like that.
I remember Andreas Streets the night before the race saying, "Oh, you're going to love the course. You're going to be coming down the final 10 miles. You're going to get over 100 kilometers an hour." And I remember, I think I was in like 4th or 5th at the time. And I remember coming down and I got to 80 and I was like on the brakes hard. And I remember thinking, this race is completely over. Andreas is going 110 kilometers an hour right now. I'm giving 3 minutes to him. So that was the first and last time I think I'll ever do that race.
Yeah. Well, it's off the calendar, so you're safe there.
Good.
Safe there. But we need to get you back a little more racing in Europe, I would say. Now that your bike handling has improved.
I'm gonna race whatever race is the first race to start. That's my goal.
Are you staying like focused in terms of training, or like just being ready out of the gates, or did you slow down a little bit?
I mean, I think everyone's got to kind of figure out what works for them. But for me, I mean, I look at this as definitely an opportunity. I still got a lot of things to improve upon. I mean, one of the big ones is my mobility and I'm like probably the most rigid person in all of triathlon. I'd be willing to put money on that. And I've had quite a few different like physio appointments and stuff where people are like, I can't even believe you do what you do. I've never seen a human being so tight. And so great opportunity now to really work in that department. And so I've definitely, with the swimming taken off of the schedule, kind of, I'm using that to try and, open my chest up, get better range of motion in my legs. So I definitely have curbed things back a little in that regard because it's more relaxing to be doing stretching and mobility work. But I'm still pretty, trying to become a better athlete in the bike and the run. And yeah, I mean, I see a lot of guys going in one direction of like completely like tuning out and not really training. And then I see other guys going in the direction of like doing every effort is an all out effort. And so I'm trying to use them as a guidepost to navigate down the middle of that, those two extremes.
Do me a favor, don't overdo it on the like opening up and everything. Because if you end up with like a normal looking running style, for example, that takes away about 20 minutes of stuff we can talk about as commentators at races alone.
Cam Worf's going to have no more content for my my Instagram channel, unfortunately, if my run stride gets better. So
I know, and the man
you wouldn't want to do that to Cam. I know he really, really enjoys getting on there and trolling my Instagram. So
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think he's waiting for you to be ready to race again and everything. He's definitely got the trash talk on. We had a funny chat with Crowley. He said, as team captain international for the Collins Cup, one of the first things he got was an email from you saying, "I want to race young."
Yeah, well, I messaged, it was Lisa Bentley, actually. I messaged and I said, because the race was like, well, basically I saw my wife, Erin, had shown me a picture from a meeting they did in Arizona, a tri-conference or something, where they showed possible matchups. And I thought it was the real matchups had already been determined. And I was just absolutely pissed off because I didn't get yawn. And so I messaged my team captain. Like 10 minutes later, I found out it was just theoretical matchups. And I said, I need to get a jump start on this. And so I messaged Lisa and I said, if you give me yawn, I will give you the performance of the entire competition. Because I said, I believe no one on this team wants to beat Jan more than I do. And I'll beat him or I'll go home in a stretcher. And I promise from the depths of my being that is the case. And so, unfortunately, we all know that it's not happening this year, but that will be true whenever it happens.
Looking forward to that for sure. I was looking forward to the entire format to see how it works out with tactics and like if it actually, and it sounds like it, if it gets even more out of people that are matched up than they can get out of themselves racing other races.
I think it suits a certain type of racer. Most of the racing, when you swim as bad as me, it is an individual time trial. So it's pretty well an individual time trial. So this is definitely suits my strengths and how I've trained, how I've raced for pretty much my entire career. So I definitely feel confident in head-to-head racing as opposed to in world championships. There's a lot more tactics, and I've had to become, change and become a better athlete because of those tactics. But I do believe that's probably my best races will come in head-to-head racing.
Where does the dedication come from? Is that something you had as a child already? Or
No.
You've given us some of the best shows out there. The way you can dig deep and remember battles with Sadie at some of the races and so on. Amazing how deep you can dig.
I see, even the race on the weekend, the E-race I did, I smiled a little at the end because, and I truly believe this, you're still doing it for the right reasons. When I was doing a race for literally nothing, there's no money, there's absolutely no reason to push yourself, no reason, no like any financial reason, nothing. And yet I still got a lifetime best 5-minute power and a second best 20-minute power of my entire life at 2 a.m. in my closet, basically. And so I know I'm still doing it. And I believe that's where I get it from, is I truly love the battle. And so, of course, you have like sponsorship obligations and all this stuff. And if you're not winning races, it's not very good. So, you kind of need to win some races. But I would take a great battle over a win any day of the week. And I think if I ever lose that's probably the day I should retire.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Definitely. You mentioned the E-race again. It was a hell of a lot of fun to watch, actually. For everybody watching this now, if you haven't seen it, I think it's on YouTube. Google you. I think it's something like the first time you ever raced pro riders or something like that. And
actually, the team I raced on is technically the first ever professional esports cycling team. So esports obviously is huge. And I think, part of Zwift's like business model moving forward and stuff is how big esports potentially could be, especially if you could get it into the Olympics. And the cycling aspect is sort of bridges actually moving and exercise with esports. And so it's the logical addition to the Olympics for esports. And so anyways, I rode with the Canyon team, who is the first ever professional e-cycling team. So it was an amazing experience, really, really cool opportunity.
So you have a reputation for very much having your own mind. You've been without a coach for the longest time in recent years, doing your own training and everything. How was it suddenly sitting there with like a plug in your ear and a team manager giving you like tactics and telling you what's going to happen and so on?
I'm a changed man. guy. I'm a changed man. I'm not. I'm not that do whatever you want guy. I mean, you can only get so far playing the game like that, you know. And my best, like, it's no secret to me anyway, that my best years were the years where I had a coach, where I had a guy. It was David Tilbury Davis, who was directing me and keeping me on track. Because I think when you're self-coached, you go down these tangents because you don't have the perspective, right? And I would go down these tangents, and like I'd spend 3 months down this tangent that like actually was like digging myself a hole or tearing my entire position apart, literally every piece of equipment apart, like just stupid stuff that a coach will keep you from doing. And so anyways, I'm a changed man. I believe and see the value of a coach. And so, no, it's once you release that control, it's very, very satisfying to have someone there to tell you this is what you should be doing, or at least have a little banter with. And so anyways, when I was in this e-race, it was really cool. These guys are experts. I mean, no one's better at e-racing than the guys I was riding with. And so they told me when to attack, how hard to go, what power up to use at what time. And it's kind of the fun part about the e-racing is like there's a lot of depth to it because it's a video game as well. It's really weird environment. It's a video game and you're pushing yourself to the limit. And so yeah, I mean, I've never had so much fun riding a bike. And I probably shouldn't get into too many more of the e-races because once again, going down the tangent, I'm going to want to learn to handle my bike and go do bike races and stuff. And then I'll probably crash and be out of for my entire career. So let's stay away from the bike racing.
I think it would be a lot of fun to have you at least in one more of those races and throw Cam in the mix. I want to see you.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great. I actually was thinking about seeing if we're doing this for a long time, let's say a year or something. I was thinking maybe we could field a team of long course triathletes as an e-racing team and see how we could do because I'm certain a lot of the pro cyclists are going to be thinking, okay, if we're not going to be racing, let's field a team and just race in the E realm. And so it'd be cool to see how we could do. Who would be the sprinter though? Like, who's our sprinters? We need sprinters, and like I don't know any long course guys who have huge sprinting power.
No, no one.
Top of my head, think of
anyone. I wouldn't know who.
Yeah.
But hey, now's the time to learn something new and to focus on something new.
Yeah.
But when you say you're a reformed man or a changed man, and you know you're back to like, or you had your time, or you destroyed yourself a little bit, does that mean your best races are still ahead of you?
Undoubtedly, I'm just coming into the peak, baby.
Nice.
Jan's paving the way for us all. What is he, 39? What did he win Kona at 39? So, well,
38 was the last one, so he's gunning for 39 now, yeah.
All right, so, it was Tim O'Donnell at 39. Tim O'Donnell was 39, finished second. So, I mean, the barriers are being broken, so I'm excited. I feel like I'm back on track. I feel like you come into like your both physical and mental prime. Like I can just feel I'm becoming stronger, like mentally and physically. And I mean, I don't think it's any secret that many of the best Kona guys have been 32 to 38 years old. And so I'm coming into prime. That's kind of like the sad part about this year right now is like I felt like this is the damn year I'm coming. But it's okay. Lots
it's
to
okay. Fun. There will be more years, and hopefully some races still this year coming up.
Yeah, we'll see. So. Hopefully, yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing what else you're coming up with other than road racing. If this drags on with no races coming up.
Yeah, I mean, you just got to go with the flow, right? You got to go with the flow and find challenges and stuff that motivates you. So I did the Mount Lemmon climb. That was really fun. I'd always wanted to try and take the Mount Lemmon KOM. I had tried it for years and years. And finally, I was able to take it. And now Sam Long's trying to take it from me. So I'm happy to try and inspire another guy to find the love for Mount Lemmon.
Ooh, I need you guys to get out there. There's a couple of guys. There's Jan, there's Ken, there's you, You know, there's some good trash talking going on. I think we need to get you guys out there and take on some of those challenges. And
Yeah, it'll be fun to see. I mean, I'd rather be racing, but we'll take the challenges, the little challenges, if we can find them.
That slight obsession that we see with you in racing and focusing on races, is that something that translates into other parts of your life as well?
I mean, I'm like as lazy as can be. So no, like I literally spend like 3/4 of my life sitting on the couch, like doing absolutely nothing, contributing nothing. And so no, this is my only outlet. One of the questions for this thing was like, what's your talents? Like, I don't have any talents whatsoever, unfortunately. I'm not even talented at triathlon. Just a hard worker.
Just a hard worker.
Yeah. So no, unfortunately, it doesn't. Aaron would love if it translated maybe to like an extreme need to have the house clean or something, but I don't contribute in any way, shape, or form. That's why I love my wife to death.
Are you one of those triathletes who uses the escalator instead of the stairs at the mall?
I do take the stairs. I'm definitely a stair guy. Yeah, that's maybe, I don't know. I just feel like it's like I worked so hard for this cardiovascular system, so at least damn well take the stairs.
Fair enough, 100%. Hey,
but everything else I'm lazy in. Trust me on that.
Oh, I know the feeling. I know that. Like that's why we've got that frame here, so you can't see the rest of the apartment.
All right, so we're on the same page.
Little over 3 weeks in complete lockdown. Like, are you allowed to do anything outside, or?
Yeah, I'm in Tucson, Arizona, so it's actually like they're pretty, I mean, it's kind of like controversial because it's like they're pretty open still with a lot of stuff. So like the golf courses are still open. I mean, there's a lot of stuff still open. So I don't know if it's good or bad, but I mean, they've closed pretty much every public, like anything where you could congregate, like even my condo pool's closed and stuff. But I mean, I can't complain. We have like a 112-mile bike path that is closed to cars. It's still open. You can go whenever you want. And I have like a state park that's still open 1 mile away, beautiful trails and everything. So, and yet I still am on Zwift for about 20 hours a week. So, I mean, it hasn't like completely changed me that much because I already am a hermit and an indoor trainer.
I love it. That golf course situation even made the headlines in Germany. Like even we heard about it, that Arizona still considers golf courses to be important.
It's essential service. I mean, if there's anything I can see right now, I mean, it's the sanity. Like I can already feel, even though I don't really like go out too often, but I usually get like my socialization and stuff from swimming, like going to the pool and seeing people at the pool, right? So there's absolutely no socialization happening, and I can totally see people going like insane. This thing goes on for 3-4 more weeks. You know what I mean? Like truly insane. Because I'm like pacing around the house and stuff, you know, like I'm used to it. So I can see having to keep something like that's essential to some people. You know what I mean? Even if they can play golf 6 feet apart, take separate carts. I mean, I get it. It's probably a golfer who's making the rules, but I get it.
Oh, I get it 100%. I mean, like in Spain, it's literally, we've gone through 3 weeks now. We got another week ahead of us. We're waiting for the announcement that it's going to be extended again. So we've been told at the end, we'll end up with about 9 to 10 weeks in complete lockdown. And you can see people are starting to go mental.
Yeah, that's crazy. I feel for you, man. I feel for you hard.
My sanity was at a very low level beforehand. So for me, the downfall isn't that bad. But I remember, now that you talked about golf, you do play golf. What I do couldn't be considered playing golf. I mean, I participate in golf. Yes. Well, perfect. It's because I had a chat with Cam already. And we agreed that the next talk we're going to have is going to be somehow when we're outdoors or allowed outdoors again. And it's going to involve golf because he's playing. I play. So I think there's a challenge right there.
Well, I thought about playing against Cam in a round. We thought about doing like a YouTube video or something about it. But it would literally have to be, for it to even be competitive, it would be me playing from the red tees and Cam playing from the tips. That's how we'd have to do it to be competitive. Well, he makes fun of me all the time for my golfing because it's so bad. So, I mean, I would like to see his golf. Is he that good at golf? I mean, he's pretty damn good at sports. So maybe I'm not going to put it past him that he's pretty good.
I haven't played him yet, but I remember you being familiar with some of the courses around Kona. So maybe that'll be a good time whenever we're back there
How's your
for a
game?
showdown.
How's your game?
It's all right. Been better, but I used to play a 5. I probably shoot a 10 right now, so it's decent. Yeah.
All right. Very good.
I'll just caddy you guys.
No, you can hit for me, and then I'll do the putting. How about that?
Perfect.
We'll do a team effort.
It's a deal. It's a deal. Hey, with your life story and the way you fought your way back and then found triathlon and everything, is that something that helps you in times like now? Like, do you feel you have a different perspective on the whole Corona thing than some other people might have because you went through dark places before and you know there's a way out?
Well, I would say the only thing I think that maybe keeps me focused through things like this is that I do truly feel that I was put here to do triathlon. Like it did come into my mind from above. And like I thought I had the thought to do, maybe I should do an Ironman triathlon. I had to Google it, and because I didn't know what it was, and like truly. And so I Googled it, and I was like, oh wow, it's an insane event, and I don't think I could do that, so I should do it. And that was basically like the beginning of my entire career. And so I feel like it was from something from the universe, from something higher that brought me into triathlon. And so it's my duty to stay focused because I will come and race again. And I can't waste, I'm not going to waste a year of deteriorating and stuff. So now it's my duty to stay focused and to make sure when the gun goes again, that I'm even better athlete and have improved in many departments and use this as an opportunity to become better. And so because I feel that triathlon sort of was given to me, it allows me, I think, to stay focused and to at least hunt for the right perspective through these difficult times. I mean, I'm not going to lie. Like I said, I've paced around this 10 by 10 room 15,000 times in the last months because it's very difficult, without having a race on the schedule. You really start to see into your own psychology. And, I'm definitely motivated by extrinsic races, even though, my training and even the race itself, a lot of my motivations are intrinsic. It's still difficult to stay focused without having that concrete extrinsic race on the schedule. So for me, I'm basically just saying Ironman Mont Tremblant, that's where I'm gonna now be directed towards and peak for. And so if it doesn't happen, at the very least, I'll have made some really good improvements. And if it turns out maybe we're not racing until November, no problem. I've already made some improvements. I'll take a little recovery and I'll start building again for November. So I just keep doing that indefinitely, I guess, until we actually have a concrete race.
You're following that triathlon thing, that what you've been put on or in this place here to do for professionally 7-8 years now. About that.
Since I had the thought to do one, it was just over 10 years. It was 10 years in December of 2019. So it's been 10 years I've been following the journey.
10 years for that journey. In that time, have you come across anything else where you say, that's another thing that you will have to take off the bucket list when you're done with your triathlon career? Another challenge where you say, this is so exciting because I don't know if I can do it. This I need to try after triathlon.
Yeah, I mean, I think probably if I'm thinking about, I definitely want to get into ultra running for sure. I want to do I want to do that. I think it's called Badwater 135. I definitely am intrigued because I love the desert and a lot of like great memories and, founding memories for myself have come in the desert. So I definitely want to do that race one day. But I think probably the biggest challenge I'd like to do is I grew up on Lake Erie in one of the Great Lakes. And I don't know, I've always, because swimming is so foreign to me and because like I'm horrible at it and I still am like kind of afraid when I go swimming in the open water. Like I still have fear. Every time I swim in Kona, I still have fear. I can just tell deep inside of me. One day I want to swim from where I lived on the coast of Lake Erie, across Lake Erie to like Cedar Point in Sandusky, Ohio or something. I think it's like maybe like a 40-kilometer swim. And so one day I want to do that to like conquer my fears of water and like swimming in the open water and being in the middle of nowhere and like at nighttime and all these. I think like crazy swimming feats are like just the most insane feats, because from what I hear, you like start hallucinating and stuff because you're like there's absolute sensory deprivation. So I'm really afraid of that challenge. So that's something I definitely want to do one day. And maybe
I love that. I'm going to send you some links when we're done here, because I've been going through that process in the last year. Because if you think you're terrible at golf, you should see my swimming. Like, I was definitely not put on this earth to swim. So
I feel you on that one, man. You're preaching to the choir on that one.
So I found for myself, so that's the thing I need to focus on. That's where I need to challenge myself. So the first one I've signed up for now is a 14.5-kilometer swim from the tip of Europe down in Spain over to Morocco.
Wow, that's really cool. Really cool.
Yeah. So that's hopefully just the beginning of stupid swimming ideas. So if you ever run out of stupid swimming ideas, I've got the whole list.
All right, sounds good. That's really cool.
Right.
When is that supposed to be?
So it's a long wait list because it's one of the busiest shipping routes in the world. Okay. So it's like there's one organization that's allowed to put it on, and so they only take a couple of attempts per week in summer months. So the wait list is somewhere between a year to a year and a half. So okay. Yeah, I reckon somewhere 2021.
So it's one of those things that you got to kind of be ready to go when they give you the call?
No, so you let them know like your preferred time, and they tell you now what the closest slot that is still open to that is, and then you need to keep 1 week open. So you need to arrive a couple of days beforehand, and then it's depending on the weather or something, and they just toss you in and you go.
Wow, that's cool. That reminds me of, you heard of the Four Deserts Ultra Marathon series?
I have.
Yeah, I'd like to do that. I would like to try that too. I love running. Running's like my first love, So it's like I like those like crazy running feats. And the final desert is Antarctica.
I know.
You gotta be like ready for like a month, because the window to go there is like crazy.
It is unbelievable. I've been looking so much into Antarctica recently because my other stupid goal that I have is I want to cycling Everest all 7 continents, because nobody's ever done it in Antarctica.
Wow.
So for the past 2 years, I've planned Antarctica and looked a lot into it, and now theoretically it's a reality. And it was supposed to be this winter, but with the uncertainty, it's an expensive project. I'm going to push it to 2021, but Antarctica sounds absolutely,
Yeah, that would be
an interesting place.
Very cool, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man. So I'll just put it there when you head over for the 4th Desert Marathon. We'll just take a little trip to Antarctica.
We'll do it together. We'll do a duathlon. Oh, we can do a triathlon, I guess.
Did you see that there was a Danish kid who kind of sort of did one just the other day?
Yeah, I saw that. I watched that. I was crazy. He was doing like crazy immersion into like 30-degree water and everything. Yeah. I mean, people are amazing. There's some amazing people out there. Some crazy people, but amazing people.
So you want to do the 4th?
One day I would love to try it. Yeah. I mean, I intend to do everything's a blessing, right? And everything's a gift if you get to do what you want to do. And after triathlon, I definitely want to do ultra running. I love running. So
with your level of insanity, there must be the Berkeleys must be on that list.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I don't know. There's too many fun things to do in this world. We're going to run out of time before we get to do them all. Of course, you can't even get into the cycling challenges, right? Like you want to drive your bike across Canada or something just to try it. There's too many challenges out there.
There's too many. Join us for that stuff. I'm telling you, it's the best thing. It is hands down the best thing.
I can't imagine. Yeah, I really want to get into that. But first things first, they still have the Kona goal. So
there's
get distracted.
One step after another. Just keep us entertained.
Correct.
Make sure whatever happens is thrown up onto the YouTube channel and so on. So I've got Kona on the list, and hopefully see your showdown with Jan at the Collins Cup whenever that's happening. But by the way, which team is going to win? I mean, they're obviously you're there to beat Jan, but the Europeans are damn good on paper.
I think, I mean, of course, it's a long shot. We're a long shot. International is a long shot. But I think with the right, orchestration of who versus who, I definitely think we can give them a run for their money at least.
I'm more worried than ever before after talking to Crowley. It's the first time I ever had a long chat with him, and man, he's got a good look at things from a different angles and so on. Having him as one of the team captains there, and like you've got amazing team captains as Team International.
Yeah, agreed.
Wow, it'll be interesting to see what they get out of the team. I'm really looking forward to seeing that.
And then it boils. And then I think a big question mark and a boil down is how guys race in that type of format, and then also, it's more of just the pride, right? Because it's not really like the right, like a $10 million prize at the end or something. It's more for pride, right? And so we'll get a glimpse into what guys are racing more for pride and what guys are racing more because they need the accolade, you know what I mean? And so I think certain people will race better in this format than perhaps you'd actually ever see them race, So just looking at statistics on paper, I don't think tells the whole story in this format, which is great. And that's one of I think in the golf version of this, that's why people really like it, is because some guys thrive really well in a team environment, head to head. Not really, it's more like your country and stuff on the line, and certain people are going to respond better to those circumstances.
Yeah. Also means we get to see you back racing in Europe, so that's always a good thing.
Yeah, that'll be good. That was a really cool race, too. Samarin's a really, really fun venue. I've had some great experiences there, and really, really, last year I didn't make it. I fractured my sacrum before the race, but I definitely wanted to Duke with Keen. He ended up winning. Keenley won, so I definitely wished I was there to Duke with Keenley one more time.
Mate, thank you so much for taking the time.
I haven't socialized with anyone in a month, so I'm just trying to keep you on the line.